Welcome back, Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and today is going to be most of my budget knives in my collection. I have a lot. I probably have double the amount that I'm going to show y'all, but the other ones are like really cheap, or I don't know. If y'all really want to see the rest, y'all let me know and I guess I'll do it. Let's get started so we can get this. Try to get it under 30 minutes. The first is, in my opinion, a Hall of Famer, especially for CRKT, and that is the regular Pilar Vox design. This was one of the Blade HQ exclusives with the carbon fiber laminate and the 12C27 blade that I put a mirror polish edge on it, and I put a stone wash. It came with a satin finish. And the next is just a standard Palar that I put a carbonized micarta scale on there. Just your regular 8CR 13 MOV blade. Excellent. I love the ergos. Nice lightweight. Good knife for the money. I think it's $23 for the standard one. Here's this bigger brother, the Pilar. This is the D2 variant with my edge on it. This definitely had some potential. They added the flipper tab, which works pretty good. You can middle finger flick it. It's not that much larger than the standard size. There you go. But one thing that I've noticed is I've had 3 of these large ones, and all of them, I don't know if you can hear this, but all of them had lockup issues. The lock is sprung on this one. I can fix it by bending the lock bar over that way, but just a pain in the butt. Just something to note. I don't know if they're all like that, but 3 examples that I had 2 of these and 1 of the standard 8CR ones, and all 3 of them developed it. Another pretty decent little budget blade is the SE Zancudo in D2 steel. I modified this one. I put a little bevel or top swedge up on top myself just to practice my swedges. Tip down, stainless frame lock. Ergos are okay. It's very thin. It's not overly heavy, being it's not a big old knife. It is tipped down. Right now, it can go tip up, but you have more of the knife sticking out of the pocket, and that's just the way I chose to keep it. So there you go. Nice thin blade stock. That's something I did like about this. It doesn't hold an excellent edge, but it's okay. These 2 are probably my favorite budget blades of all time, especially in the 30 and under category, and that is the CRKT LCK. I got the reverse Tonto versions, 8CRs, ITEL handles, deep carry pocket clip, nice and slender. This is my second one like this. It's good action, at least mine does. Good detent. You can choke up if you have skinny fingers, but I think it's more of a sharpening tool. And then I also have its other brother, the satin drop point version of it. Both great, depending on whatever you like. These are Lurch designs. Both of them come out with authority. This is under the Ruger line for CRKT. There you go. Nice and lightweight. I think those are in the $20, $25 range. Here's another great one from Kershaw, the Kershaw Atmos. This is such a light knife. You got G10 with little carbon fiber insert in the middle, nice decorative pivot. I did extend the choil because they don't extend it far enough, and you get a nice flare back here. That's just something that bugs me. 8CR, deep carry pocket clip. Excellent action on this guy, and like the way the flipper tab's set up. it rockets out. Fairly comfortable, nice gentleman's carry, office carry, whatever you want to call it. And I think these are like 25, 30 bucks. Great value right here. Oh, the next one is most people's Hall of Famer, and that is the Ontario Rat Model 2. This is my old OS 8 version. I had the D2 version, but mine was, I think it was a lemon because it never could hold an edge. This one holds a pretty decent edge. I don't like the mini that much. I don't own the large anymore because it's just a little bit too big for what I like to carry. But main reason why I don't carry this that much because where this little choil is so small, and this liner right there, whenever I'm gripping it, like, you know, gripping it nice and tight and pushing through, this just eats my hand up and just not comfortable for me. So great knife if the ergos are good on you, nice action, but just not good for me. And I also acid wash the blade. All right, the next one is a Kaiser from their Vanguard line. This is the Mini Doman. I got this thing for like 30 bucks at Blade Show this year. Couldn't really pass it up. Let's see. This one is in Bowler N690. Very corrosion resistant steel. This thing holds a okay edge. It's fairly comfortable in hand. Your clip's not deep carry, but it's okay. Easy to disengage that lock bar. Nice and smooth action. Just a decent little piece, especially if you get it for a good price. I'd say under 50 and under. This next one, I don't know. Sometimes I'm at Walmart and I want to buy a knife. So that's what this is right here. This is a Camillus, the titanium coated. I don't know what the name of this knife is. They sell it at Walmart. It's super thick, tip down only, with that ugly pocket clip with the knife in the middle of it. It does have a nice strong detent, which allows it to rock it out. I like the blade shape. It's so in the hand. It's tipped down left or right. That's about it. You can't spidey flip because the detent's too strong. But yeah, this is one that I bought just to, you know, put on the channel, but never got around to it. Any of these that I show y'all, if I hadn't done a video and you want to see a video, let me know. Like this next one, I plan on doing a video on it, and that is this new Gonzo that was sent to me the other day. Let's see. This is the FH61 D2 steel. Pretty cool blade shape, deep carry pocket clip. Pretty decent ergo, especially up in the choke up position. Kind of reminds me of the Mass Drop Falcon. It's a different blade shape, but the handle's pretty similar. Love the way that flipper tab's set up. No thought necessary. Nice action on there. Came pretty darn sharp, almost centered. Love that G10 color. There you go. Another Gonzo. I've reviewed this one on the channel. This thing is pretty impressive for, I think, 30 bucks it is. G10 scales, decent light, pretty lightweight. Somewhat of a deep carry clip. You still got that much sticking out. The action on this guy and the flipper tabs, excellent. Action is amazing. Okay in the hand. Not terrible, not great. Super smooth. D2 steel. This is the FH21. There you go, Firebird Gonzo. Alright, the next one I haven't done a video on, but if I want me to do one, let me know. And that is the Sevilla Anthropos, I think. This is the Elijah Isham design. I was I like that blade shape. I got this on trade from our buddy Copper Dice. You got the G10 with the carbon fiber overlays, liner lock, deep carry clip, riding on bearings. That minimal flipper tab. It's not the most comfortable in the world to flip, but it does flip just fine. You can't really use that hole for opening. It's not set up like you're hitting the top of this right here. This knife suffers the same thing that a lot of the items that I've handled in the past, especially the ones from Sevilla, except the McKenna. Just like on this guy right here, how you have that small choil where it makes that hard 90-degree angle right there. You got that same angle right here, so it's just not that comfortable in hand for me. It's not as bad as this guy with a hot spot, but it cramps my finger right there, and I don't know, doesn't get used that often just because it's just not that comfortable for me. But if y'all want me to do a video, y'all just let me know. The next is a steel wheel. Let's see, H6 S1 and 14C28N. I like the blade shape. This is what I wanted to check out what steel wheel was doing a long time ago whenever this first came out. You got the carbon fiber laminate scales. It's riding on phosphor bronze washers, fairly smooth. It's red Loctite all up, so I can't get this one apart. It's got that gimmicky beta lock in there. It's got skeletonized stainless on the stainless side, skeletonized, and then you have the G10 carbon fiber laminate on the other side. So it's decent. The weight's decent on that guy. Next is one that I've used and abused, and it's a great knife, especially if you want an assisted open knife, and that is the Kershaw Knockout 14C28N blade steel. This isn't the one I didn't use this one as hard as the other one. I got another one like this, but this one gets used a good bit too. Aluminum scales, like I said, assisted. It's got the subframe lock, deep carry clip. Decently thinly ground, thin blade stock. I wish they would have done this in a non-assisted version. That would have been a really nice folder. Here's another one that I used around the house when I needed a work knife and I wanted a beater, and I really enjoyed this knife. This is the You Bruiser. I did a video on this whenever it first came out. Absolutely love that blade shape. G10. Deep carry clip, riding on bearings, nice and smooth action. For how far back that flipper tab is, it works perfect. I love how it's canted back, so it's not uncomfortable to flip. It's a decent slicer, D2 steel, satin finish, and they got different color scales and stuff like that. This one as well was also red Loctite with soft screws, so I can't take this guy apart. Let's see, yeah, it is skeletonized in there. It's not a lightweight, but it's not super heavy for its size. Oh, the next one is, let's see, the best Czech Scimitar. This is a nice large EDC blade, D2 steel, G10 with a in recessed stainless liner lock, deep carry clip, riding on bearings. You got dual blood grooves. This one's nice and comfortable, somewhat contoured. You got beveling going all the way around. It's nice and comfortable in hand. Flips nice. Just a decent folder, especially for the money. I think I got this off of Master Drop for rather cheap, and anything under $60, I think it's well worth it. This guy, this is the Kubi. I don't know what model this is. This was sent to me by Kubi. Just a rather unique looking blade shape. You got this progressive Tonto, D2 steel. You got the wave opener right here. Some sculpted G10. its action is really nice. It's got that huge flipper tab. It rockets out. It's decently comfortable. You don't have a deep carry clip. It's a pretty funky looking clip. These are rather inexpensive, but I did notice at least this one right here, this D2 did not hold up that well at all. Very soft. I sharpened it a few times and I never could get it to hold a good edge. So another Best Tech. This is probably used to be one of my favorite Best Techs in the budget line. This is the Kendo. They came out with a titanium version, but I already had this one, so I stuck with it. I love that look of that Tanto. D2 steel, decently ground, decently thin, not terrible. I just love that nice limb package. Good action, riding on bearings. Nice weight for such a big knife. Deep carry clip. And they also have this one in a bunch of different variations. I'm trying to get this all done before my dog barks again, because you messed up my last 3 or 4 takes of this. The next one, I think it's an excellent super budget blade, and it's a Kershaw Thistle. I think you can get these for like $14 on like Knife Center or some of those sites. 8CR blade, nice and thin, decent slicer. It has this, if you're worried about your finger being in the path of the lock's kind of like the smock. You push this over it pushes the liner lock over. Nice and smooth. Pretty darn comfortable in hand. Deep carry clip. Zytel with that K texturing on there. Like I said, just a good, decent. If you need a work beater, this is a pretty good option. Next one is the Reich P865B that I decided to put a copper acid wash on here and put my edge on it. This is it's okay, lightweight, say office carry or something like that. You have G10 scales, a thin liner lock. This one didn't get carried a whole lot for me because those thumb studs are sharp for me. My hands are already just jacked up, so take it for what it's worth. You got kind of sculpted or beveled G10 going all the way down. Nicely done G10. Pretty good knife. Reich makes some really good knives, or designs some pretty good knives. So this is one of my favorite budget blades of 18, I think it was. And that is the CRKT Calgo. This is a TJ Schwartz design. I love a lot of TJ's designs. They got an upgraded version of this in D2, but being that I already had this version, this is the 8CR version, I was okay with it. Riding on bearings, I just think it's a nice, attractive knife. Aluminum scales, comfortable in the hand. Pretty good slicer. Got a hollow grind on here, and there you go. Here's a old discontinued buck Mayo that I got at a local gun and knife show. I used to have the titanium version, but this is the stainless steel version. You got contoured stainless steel with the Mayo holes, some Mayo design. I think this is 420 HC blade with my edge on it. Nice deep hollow grind. Decent slicer, tip down only. Liner lock, very smooth, riding on Teflon washers. All right, now to my Tangram. Almost all these Tangrams, it's hard to beat for what you pay. The first one is a Dirk Pinkerton design. This is the Progression. I like the aesthetics of this knife. You got some funky looking G10, standoffs, jimping all around, liner lock. Good action on this guy. This is a nice medium size EDC. Decent slicer. It's in a Kendo 440, kind of like a 440C variant. Decently comfortable. decently thin blade stock. The one kind of killer for this guy for me is the jimping behind the flipper tab. Tears my finger up. I hate whenever they do that. It just rubs on it. It's not super aggressive on this guy, but enough to make me not want to carry it because it's a budget blade. Another Pinkerton design. I like this one a good bit. This is the Orion Tangram 4-way positionable pocket clip. Something I forgot to say on this guy. It's not deep carry, but that's the pocket clip's another crap thing on this knife, on both of these as well, because they both get stuck in that groove. This one's not even touching the scales, but those ridges right there get caught. I do like how they sculpted the G10. It's a layered G10. Got the prototype of this model as well. Standoffs. I like the way they did that jimping up there. It's not really aggressive. Decently comfortable. The only thing is right here is not super comfortable whenever you're putting a lot of pressure down. But you got another nice thin blade. Somewhat of a Warncliffe. Nice action. These are riding on phosphor bronze washers. There you go. Oh, I need to hurry. This is another Tangram, the Amarillo deep carry. This is a small guy. Let's just put it in comparison to the Orion. As you can see, it's a small guy. Let's see, put it next to the Rat Model 2. And as you can see, it's dwarf. So it's a small guy. For me, it's a 3-finger grip. But I will say, being that it's got those choils in there, it's pretty darn comfortable, super lightweight. I just like that blade shape and wanted to check it out. The action's pretty good on this guy. One thing, and this is tip up, left or right-handed. And one thing I will say about the Tangrams, they're well put together. You get G10, you get good actions, just, well done all the way around. But I will say the Kendo 440, it's not terrible, but it holds up about like almost as good as the Gonzo 440C, but not quite that good. I did a rope cut test way back when on the channel. If you want to check it out, it was on my Tangram, I think Santa Fe. Yeah, I think it was on the Santa Fe, because I want to see how their 440 did. This is another really nice Tangram. What is this one called? The Vector. You have the button lock. Mine's super smooth. I love the color. Aluminum scales. They are kind of slick. I'm not a huge fan of that recurve. I would have much rather it just be, a nice spear point or drop point. Pocket clip's a little tight, but it can make it in there because it is slick aluminum. This is another one that's not that big. Put it next to the Rat Model 2. As you can see, it's smaller than the Rat Model 2. But another nice knife. I think I got this for like 20 bucks or something like that. I think it was during Christmas. They had some major sales going on. Okay, a few more. The next is the SOG Terminus. I did some test video on this and I reviewed it already. Oh man, I wanted to like this knife because I like the aesthetics. It seems like a good, nice little work knife, but for what they charge, I would definitely pass. The BDZ1 steel is just meh. After I put the mirror polish edge, it held up a little bit better, but it's still, for what they charge for this, you can get some way better knives that hold a much better edge than this guy. And I'm not a big fan of that flipper tab. This jimping is nice and aggressive. It doesn't feel too good on my fingers. And then if you go to flip it out like that, it is a little difficult. They do have a good bit of tension on their, whatever they call their axis lock. And then you got this cheesy carbon fiber laminate over the G10 with this milling. I don't know. I wish SOG would get to it, because I used to like a lot of their designs. I just didn't like you know, their steel choice and other things like that. Alrighty, we got the Spyderco Dragonfly warning. I did a video on this a while back. I still need to review it. It's okay. It's another one that I'm not too fond of. Spyderco VG10 is rather soft, but I'll tell you what, this one, you know, especially for the small knife like this, it's not going to be like, you know, a go-to main knife. Nice lightweight to keep in your gym shorts, just fine. You know, it's good enough. And then before the warnings came out, this is the one I made myself. If y'all didn't see it in the video before, this is the different types of warnings. You got the fat warning and then my warning. And I'll also crown the spine on mine, just because I love a nice crown spine. So there you go. Alrighty, 3 more. You got the Kershaw Matrix. I don't know which one this was. He did so many of them. I stone washed the blade, extended the sharpening choil because I had a big smile, and then I sharpened up the blade. This is an okay knife. You know, for the money, there's a lot better knives out there. Mine has a nice detent, but it's just not the most comfortable in hand. It's rather thin, and it's kind of sharp on the inside right there, at least for me. You got the Kershaw strobe. This one I think is discontinued now. I think you still get them some places rather cheap. I always like Matt Diskin's designs. I love that blade shape. I like the overall aesthetic, but it is pretty weighty with the stainless frame. And then you got the K texturing over it, kind of thick. Deep carry clip. I also extended the sharpening choil on this one, so I wouldn't have that smile. And this is riding on bearings. This one's got an okay action for being on bearings. It's all right. There you go. And last is a Boker tech tool that I bought to experiment making some scales. So this is I think snake Damascus, snake micarta, something like that, or dragon micarta or something like that. Canvas micarta. And I just wanted to, this is my first go at making scales, and it turned out okay. I love that blade shape. I like this I like this profile more than the Swiss Army knives profile. That's just my opinion. And it comes in 12C27. Nice little knife right here. So there you go. That is probably half of my budget blades. If y'all want to see the rest of the budget blades, y'all let me know. I still have quite a few of my main rotation knives and you know, other odds and ends. So if y'all are liking it, y'all please hit that thumbs up button. If you made it this far and you like my videos and you're not already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my content. Hope everybody's having an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.